You're welcome back. The Nigeria that works for everybody continues here at NewsInsights. Imagine being appointed as a finance minister and you say, I don't want to serve. Hello, folks. Isn't that interesting? Let me just put that question to you. Ella, imagine being appointed a finance minister, a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and you turn it down. I see what you did it. What could be responsible for that?
Vision. When a man knows what he's doing, what he wants, he may not allow other things to distract him. To a lot of us, being a finance minister might be a very big opportunity. Remember, at that time, he was a leader of a political party. And you must not have an appointment before you make an impact, even in a government that you are not part of. As a political party then, as a leader of his party then, there were so many other ministers and governors and local government people under him that he was directing and doing things with. So I think taking that appointment as a minister could be a distraction to him. And you see, in Nigerian political setting, we are too self-centered in such a way that when I see you eyeing a particular office I'm eyeing tomorrow, I could set you up. Yeah. I think they made reference to late Bola Ige. Bola Ige was a potential material for the seat of a president, you know, and then somehow his life was cut short as a sitting minister of justice and attorney general, and up to today, we've not gotten any answer to that. It happened in Lagos State as well. Who was the lawyer? Fushon Williams. Yes. A very prominent, someone that we all knew from our own perspective that he was the next governor of Lagos State. I'm sure if he had not gone for that election, he might be here with us today.
So let's get it that way. Kingsley, no matter what people criticize Asiwaju, all of us, simply probably to make him better or get Nigeria to work for everybody, it appears to be that there are lessons almost every young man is learning from Asiwaju in some form. Not all, but in some form. You know, Honorable, I just highlighted a few of them. He said vision. Do you think it is vision that stopped him from accepting that position?
So if we backtrack a little bit, we will see a time that Obasanjo was pounding him and he refused to budge. At a particular time, I think it was not ACN, AD. He was the only surviving governor of AD in the whole country. The only surviving governor.
Yes.
His local government funds were withheld from him for a long time.
I worked for him in that election.
Okay. And he still kept his cool.
I was in Lagos then.
And came out of it and almost used AD to sweep the whole Southwest. And they went into alliance, formed ACN, before they now came and formed this other APC that we have now. You could see that he had a foresight, he was dogged, and he could do anything with whatever he had. And do you know the most beautiful thing, and why I don't know why he has not been able to replicate it now. He assembled the best minds.
Yeah, that takes me to the question I was, okay, let me allow you to finish.
He assembled the most beautiful minds at the time, whether as Commissioner for Justice, whether as Commissioner for Finance in Lagos State, whether the head of his team, everything, all them Fashola, and they all came out and they produced and they set up the structure called Lagos today. Whether you like it or you don't like it, Lagos is working.
So that's the question I was coming. You know, you talked about being distracted from the vision. Now the vision is fulfilled. One of the things people held for Asiwaju then was that if at all, because people were worried about his age, you know, or that he was going to get the best hands to manage Nigeria. Do you think Asiwaju has the best hands managing Nigeria now? The finance minister he rejected. Are you sure the current finance minister is doing as good as Asiwaju would have done?
Well, under his administration, it's not just finance. I think the finance minister is doing better than what the one under Buhari did. Apart from that, I've never been a wike person, But whether you like it or not, the achievement we've seen in FCT under this administration, we didn't see 2% of it, the 8 years that Buhari did in office. We never even knew we had a minister there. Nothing was working in FCT, to my own understanding.
Yeah, sure.
And then when you come to security, the present chief of staff, the present chief of army staff, I think the achievement under Yaradua, may so rest in peace, under Buhari, we didn't know what they were doing other than you hear they collect money, they were supposed to buy equipment. So I think in terms of putting up a team, under his team, present administration will still have things that are working better than what we had before. So I think it's a gradual process, and I think he's achieving something.
All right. So I was allowing you to finish your vision. Now I'm coming to you.
So let me say a little bit about the question you asked.
Okay.
I don't think he has the best hands. Number one, age is catching up on him. He can't move as he used to move before.
Good.
So he now relies a lot of people to bring him feedback. Number two, I think our president has become a little bit arrogant. Number three, I also now think that Lagos is not Nigeria.
Exactly. Lagos is not Nigeria. So now I want to ask you this question. One of the warnings they gave Asiwaju,
Yes.
Babafemi Ojudu was spelling it out.
Yes.
One of the warnings they gave Asiwaju then to reject the position of a finance minister was that he was of AC, Action Congress.
Yes.
How would he shift to participate in a federal government unity government? But this man has just mentioned wike. Wike is from PDP. So they want to see what it could be a trap.
Okay,
So is there a trap for wike?
No, there's no trap for wike. So what they had in that dispensation was that they had, what Bola Ige had was coming from AD to come and serve in PDP, right? It was obscured. It was not well recognized. I mean, I remember then he went to the Oni of Ife's palace and they removed one of the aide of the deputy governor then, removed his cap and slammed it on his head. And nobody was ever punished for it before he now even later died. That one is by the way.
Hold on. Let me so that you take this.
Yes.
Let me read a quote from Babafemi Ojudu.
Yes.
I said, you are in Action Congress.
Yes.
Are you not a student of history? He was referring to Asiwaju.
Yes.
Do you not see what happened to Bola Ige? Mind you, this appointment was made by Musa Yaradua, so that people will know the time it happened.
Okay.
It was when Asiwaju was just finished his tenure
Yes.
as
A governor.
As governor.
So he was ready to take up the position of being a minister of finance.
Yes.
Okay, under Musa Yaradua. And said, are you not a student of history? Do you not see what happened to Bola Ige? You are digging your political grave if you accept that type of job. So are they saying that participating in opposition government of unity, is a political grave?
Okay, so it depends on how it's coming. Did he help Yaradua win Lagos at the particular time? We saw the switching of what's his name? The FCT minister now, Nyesom Wike. We saw how he switched for the presidency to win it for Tinubu, and we saw how he came back to win PDP. So he was acting on a two-edged sword. If he goes in, it cuts. If he comes out, it cuts. So he was more tactical in his approach. But did you see Tinubu work for Yaradua in Lagos? No. So there are two different things. Now, being Minister of Finance at that particular time, everything could have been on him, that the failure of the economy would have depended on him.
Now, that's it. Eli, don't you think that it would have been on the best interest or in the best interest of Nigerians if Tinubu had worked as a finance minister under Yaradua, because the economic policies is spilling on us now, would have been tested then? Or you think he wouldn't have been able to get the courage to test it as a minister since he was not the president?
That, very well. That is just what I wanted to say here. Because you see, in this country today, like you mentioned in one of our discussions, that the same president tried to make people understand that we should hold our governors accountable. When you have a president, anything that has to do with finance, security, most basic things, Nobody bothered to know the man that heads it at that time. And remember that the president had the power to remove him even within a day for 24 hours, if he sees that he is not going to make his government work.
So you are saying that if Oskonjo-Iweala, who has worked as a finance minister on two occasions, if she wants to become a president today, that people wouldn't know the direction of her economic policy?
The country is not just about economic policy. Oskonjo-Iweala.
But that's what is hitting Nigerians now. We are hungry. I understand. You know?
So the fact that you do very well as a minister of finance does not mean you can do better.
Do you buy that?
Yes, definitely. Or the onus and last report or whatever it is rests on the president to ascertain to a particular policy.
So if
the minister of finance, for example, Oskonjo-Iweala was allowed to rove within her domain because she was coming from the World Bank. Yes. Do you understand? But even at a particular time, she was removed.
Yes.
I don't know if you understand. She was removed as Minister of Finance, during the Obasanjo tenure. So that means her policies or her suggestions were not tallying with that of the president at the particular time. So being a Minister of Finance...
No. What I'm saying, people would have known the direction.
So how would you have
philosophy?
Do you know?
Can you be a Minister of Finance and probably not suggest complete deregulation?
Do you think that he would have ever gotten to this position he is today?
I don't know. I'm not
exactly. So that's why they advised him to reject the Minister of Finance. Okay. Because it was going to be a bobby trap for him. Do you understand? Not to attain where he was supposed to be.
So on that note, we are coming to the end of this. So the duty and the job of building Nigeria is a project. Like we said earlier, the milestone that all of us are looking up to is the Nigeria that works for everybody. Until next time, still at News Insights.